What's up, y'all? Billy from Perma Pastures Farm. Man, it has been a minute since I recorded anything. It's been a while. And there's a bunch of reasons for that. Don't worry, in the future you'll know the reasons why. We got so many irons in the fire, just like so many of you. But I put on clothes long enough. Okay, I guess I need to explain myself. Okay, lately, I wear as little as possible when I'm out doing the chores, when I'm out farming, and whatever administrative work I need to do, I basically save it around the times when I'm not getting vitamin D. If I look 3 shades darker, that's the reasons why, okay? But I'll cover that in the future, I guarantee it. We're going to be covering a lot about circadian health and a lot of other things in the future. You haven't seen a podcast on here in a while, and the reason might be, well, correction, the reason is we're on our second strike, and anytime I go live on here, we could be talking about anything. I mean, I could get on here and probably sing Mary Had a Little Lamb, and all of a sudden we get another strike. So I've been trying to think about ways in which to navigate this sort of thing, because the most important podcasts I do are typically with doctors that aren't allowed to say what they say. So either you're going to find it on Rumble or you're going to find it on audio platforms, but there's the reason why I can't do it here anymore. So, and folks, if you only knew the full extent of what they're gigging us for, it would blow your mind. We're talking like elements that are on the periodic table, I kid you not. I'm frustrated. I'm aggravated. I'm irritated. I'm upset. I mean, pick whatever you want to call it. And it's multifaceted, I suppose, and it's not just what's happening on the political realm. You know, I was talking about it the other day, and I'll just briefly state it here. You know, years ago, I was working in the trade, working with my tools, and there was this kid. He was an apprentice at the time. And he would come in with the most outlandish stories every single day. Now, this kid had a pot belly like nothing you've ever seen before. And then one day he comes in and tells everybody, yeah, man, I ran a marathon last night. And then everybody just kind of like, what? And then finally, one of the guys on the crew says, I can tolerate your pathological lies, but what I find unbelievably unable to stomach is you thinking I'm believing them, is that you think I'm stupid enough to buy them. So that takes me into what we're going to talk about today, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. I've discussed a little bit about on X, but really I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time in this platform. I just want to pick out something, and this is why I just stopped everything I was doing and said I'm going to go ahead and record this video, because to me it sticks out like a sore thumb, and nobody's addressed it to my knowledge. And that is, and I know everybody's kind of, you know, had your fair share of it, but just hear me out on this one. Especially those of you in the construction area, because you're going to know that what I'm telling you is the absolute truth. The official story is, I mean, if it hasn't changed again, is that somehow this kid's up there at the Charlie Kirk shooting, takes a shot, disassembles it, which isn't a quick thing to do, okay? And it's a 30-06, by the way. Puts it in a backpack, jumps off the roof without it somehow being seen in the backpack. And I've seen a couple of videos out there where people are like, okay, I'm going to take this thing, I'm going to break it down, put it in the backpack, and it's still sticking out of there. Go back out into the woods, even though you left all your tools on the roof, reassemble it, leave it there, run off, and then you're going to go get yourself a Blizzard at Dairy Queen. And then, of course, there's so many holes in there, it doesn't make sense. But I'm going to tell you the biggest hole that nobody's discussing right now. For 30 years, I've been doing electric work, and a lot of you people out there, especially those that are, let's say, in the maintenance position at a hospital or a university, I've probably already given it away already. Those of you that do plumbing work, definitely HVAC people, tell me in the comments down below if what I'm going to say right now isn't the absolute truth. So in all my years of doing electric work, let me tell you something I've never come across. I've never come across, even though I've worked on many a rooftop, many a hospital, many a college, and typically colleges and hospitals are places where we do a lot of work because they're always doing upgrades in some way or another. But I'm going to ask everybody out there who's ever worked in these environments, nurses, teachers, doctors, whatever, have you ever once, first of all, I'm going to ask, how did that kid get on the roof in the first place? Because nobody ever said, like the butler thing, that somehow he had a ladder or whatever. Okay, he didn't have an extension ladder to get on that roof. I think we can all agree on that. So either, he developed Spider-Man-like capabilities and was able to leap on the roof, which I think we would all agree is an impossibility, or he had to go through the chute that leads up to the roof. Now, here's where we get down to brass tacks. In all my years, I have never once found a roof access point that wasn't in a maintenance closet that was locked and didn't have a lock on the access point that you raised to get to the roof. Not once in 30 years have I seen it. And there may have been a time or two where there might have been in a hospital where there's always a locked door, always. And it's in a maintenance position to where only either your maintenance people have access, and very, very few people, not even the instructors or anybody else has access to these rooms. It's usually the people that are cleaning up. It's usually a mop closet or something like that. And they are 100% locked. 100%, if for no other reason, so that people just can't go in there and steal the supplies. So that's number one. But the most important part is that you always have to be wondering if whether or not somebody is going to get off the beaten path, go in there, for whatever reason, get up to the access point, open that access point, get up there and then leap off or fall off. Or you got kids up there playing, pranks, whatever the case may be. I have never seen it in 30 years, not once. Everybody out there who's ever worked in these environments will tell you that what I'm telling you is axiomatically true. I've never seen it any other way. So, nobody's answering the question, and it should be fundamental. Like, how did he get up there in the first place? He didn't get up on the outside, and if he got up from a roof access point, wouldn't he have gone down that way? Because they don't lock from the outside, okay? They only lock from the inside. So if you're ever stuck up there, you can always find a way to get back in. Or they don't even close unless once you open them up, they stay open until you close them, okay? So I want to ask, this should be common sense for Harold and Kumar over at the FBI, but I'd like to know, where are the bolt cutters he used to cut the lock to get up there in that roof access point? Because I guarantee it had a lock on it. Number two, where's the pry bar that he used to get into the room? Because I guarantee no maintenance person would have ever, ever, ever let anybody into that room unless they were commanded to do so. It doesn't happen. So when I think about these fundamentals right here, I'm like, okay, first of all, I didn't say a word about it because I'm thinking, well, it hit me just a minute ago, but I had thought about it before, and I'm thinking, okay, surely this is compulsory. Somebody's going to answer that, because if you're saying he got on the roof, clearly he got up there somehow. And the only way I think we can dismiss the fact that if he's some hoople-headed Marchie, that he lacked the wherewithal to climb up the outside like Spider-Man. Okay, I think we can, like Sherlock Holmes said, eliminate the impossible. We know he didn't scale the outside, so he had to get up from the inside. So where's the pry bar he used to get in the door? And second of all, where's the bolt cutters he used to cut off the lock? Because I guarantee he didn't have access to either. Doesn't that seem like common sense? This seems like common sense to me. Now, we can sit here, and I said from day one, the second they said it was a 30-06, I'm like, if it weren't so tragic, it would be laughable. Look, I've spilled a lot of blood in my life, and I know a lot of you out there did too. From the very beginning, I was saying, hold on, I know what a 30-06 will do. I know what it will do on a very large animal, much less, and I'm not trying to get graphic here, folks. I'm just saying from the very beginning, when they said it was a 30-06, I'm like, okay, well, clearly they're gonna have to redo whatever they're saying here. Well, nobody that's ever shot and spilled blood with a 30-06 would ever in a million years believe that. I said it from the very beginning. You can go to my X account and see it. So I was called conspiracy nut and all these other things, but honestly, let's just go back to the bare bones. Let's talk about the access point. Don't even talk about anything else. Folks, going back to that story of the kid that was an apprentice on the job, the pathological liar, I would believe him any day of the week than I would any of these prostitutes, politicians, or pundits. They are all profligate and pathological liars on a level that this kid could only dream of. I've never seen anything like it. So at least respect me enough to give me something I can halfway believe, because it's almost like this is a national IQ test. Like, okay, 30-06, okay, not buying that one. Man of Steel, not buying that one. Whole lot of things here that don't add up. And I'm only giving you the one that should be the question that's asked from the very beginning. Because as I'm sitting here saying, okay, if I were the guy that supposedly did this, I would have had to have gained access. Like I said, where's the pry bar? And by the way, pry barring open a commercial door is not as easy as you think. Okay? Where's the pry bar? Where's the bolt cutters? If they can't even give us the basics, I mean, even in 63, November 22nd, 1963, they cared enough to give us a pristine bullet and put it in a stretcher that neither Kennedy nor Connolly was laying in. They cared enough to at least give us something that was not even marginally believable, but at least something. They're not even giving us this now. Now, what happened? I don't know. I'm 100% sure that I do not know. But I know this much. That dude did not jump on the building, and he didn't scale his way up out there. And he didn't get through that roof access without a pry bar, a key, which I know he hadn't either, and definitely not bolt cutters. Answer those questions and I'll eat my word. I'm going to say what I always say, especially important in these times. Stay alert, stay alive. We'll see you next time.